Gillette Safety Razor Company, World Shaving Headquarters, your radio host of the Sugar Bowl football game in New Orleans, the Orange Bowl game in Miami, the East-West All-Star game from San Francisco, the Kentucky Derby, all the major boxing bouts, and other top sports events. The World Series is brought to you through the combined facilities of the Mutual Broadcasting System, affiliated stations, and the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Spanning the entire North American continent, with shortwave reaching the rest of the world. This is Bob Elson with my Gillette colleagues, Red Barber and Bill Corum of the New York Journal American. By the way, we're all set for plenty of action here at Ebbets Field this afternoon. Well, I know that you're primarily interested in the starting pitchers, and they have just come out to warm up. Atlee Donald, the right-hander, is going to pitch for New York, and Kirby Higbee, the old fireballer, is going to pitch this afternoon for the Brooklyn Dodgers. I think the most important news today is that Billy Herman is not going to play. Billy Herman, you know, yesterday went out of the ball game with a strained muscle in his left side and is not going to play today. In his place, Koskarite will be at second base. We're happy to say, and I think that you'd all like to know now, that Freddie Fitzsimmons was not seriously injured. In fact, he is here in uniform today, but there's very, very little chance that we'll see any more of Fitz in this series. Fitz was severely bruised, but there was no fracture, and he is out here in uniform today. Now, something about these pitchers. Atlee Donald, a right-hander, was born at Morton, Mississippi on September the 19th, 1912. He's in a farming environment, and Atlee still is an agriculturist. He has a cotton and melon plantation down in Louisiana and really works at it. Donald broke in with the Yankees in 1939. He marked his freshman season with an astonishing feat. He took 12 ball games in a row. With Newark in 1938, he'd won 16 and lost 7 with 138 strikeouts. Donald suffered a back injury last spring at St. Petersburg, but he overcame this in time to play an important role in the winning of the American League pennant. His opponent this afternoon, Kirby Higbee, winner of 22 ball games, was born April the 8th, 1915 at Columbia, South Carolina. Give me the ball and I'll get him out, is the favorite saying of the Carolina fireballer, who the past year was a workhorse of the Dodgers. His mate Slong will remember the third Western trip when he climbed out of a hospital bed after an attack appendicitis and then appeared in the game or bullpen on every playing day on the tour. He predicted all season that he'd win 20 games and was the first in the league to reach that total. Well, the weatherman has come through with a perfect day today. Everybody out here in the East has been pounding Old Man Fate for what he did to Fitz yesterday, but the weatherman is getting a rousing vote of thanks because he certainly has come through in marvelous fashion after that rainy day. Today here in Brooklyn, the thermometer is around 86. It's bright and sunshiny. In other words, it's really a perfect day. Now the lineups. For the Yankees, these are the probable starting lineups. Sturm, S-T-U-R-M at first. Rolfe at third. Henrik in right field. DiMaggio, center field. Keller, left field. Dickey, catching. Gordon, second. Rizzuto, short. And Donald, who has won 9 and lost 5, took part in 10 complete ball games as the pitcher. For Brooklyn, leading off, Reese at short. Walker, right field. Reeser, center field. Camelli, first base. Riggs is going to play third today in place of Lavagetto. Lou Riggs will be at third. Medwick will bat sixth and play left field. Owen, the catcher, Koskarite, will play second in place of Herman and will bat eighth. And then the pitcher, Kirby Higbee, whose record this year was 22 and 9. He appeared in 19 complete ball games, and he pitched 2 shutouts. So, fans, that's the setup here on this perfect day in Brooklyn as we await the 4th game of this 1941 World Series, and I believe we're all agreed it's one of the greatest series that we've ever seen. So far, there's been 3 ball games, each decided by 1 run. And as to which team of these 2 is the best in the series, well, the jury's still out. There's been 3 ball games, and they've all been won by 1 run. So it's pretty hard to pick the best team in that kind of a series. Anyway, that's the picture right up to now. There's nobody on the field. They're getting the diamond all in shape. Pitchers are right down here in front of us, Atlee Donald and Kirby Higbee. And now it's my pleasure to bring in our co-worker, Bill Corum, who I'm sure has an interesting word for you today. Come in, Bill.
Thank you, Bob. We've got a color guard out here in front of us now with this big official band. It looks like a nightclub band, sort of, and it's tan coats and it's black trousers. A squad of sailors with the flag, marching in toward the infield. The stands are almost filled. As you told the folks, it's another ideal baseball day with a high sky and high hopes on both sides, although we all realize, and the Brooklyn team realizes, that it has its back to the wall in this ball game with Billy Herman out of there. He was the steady man of the infield, the fellow that picked up Little Reese, but I might say that the little colonel is quite a boy out there himself, and he's been taking charge, hooping and hollering. Freddie Fitzsimmons down on the bench, still having to have hot packs put on his knee as Mr. Baseball here in New York still, and why shouldn't he be today after that game? And then his middle name is Landis, so that sort of makes him Mr. Baseball anyhow. He couldn't have a better middle name than that. Marius Russo, I was just talking to down there, the marvelous game he pitched. And that, Mr. McCarthy, the gentleman from Buffalo and the wonder manager of the Yankees, who almost never loses, thinks was the World Series. As we'd say out home in the Missouri River bottoms, Russo sort of took the rag off the flatbush with that one. And Mac thinks that it meant the series to him. And, of course, with Koskarot in there, not that Pete isn't a great little ball player, but it isn't Brooklyn's full strength. I would say about Herman's injury that it's sort of as if he'd slipped a rib. And I really doubt that he's going to have an opportunity to play in the series at all. I'm sure Freddie won't. Now, Miss Lucy Monroe is just walking out to the microphone at home plate, talking out there to the band leader, and one moment you're going to hear the national anthem. While we're waiting, however, these two pitchers are warming up. Atlee Donald right here in front of me. He's the fella that practically got off a farm truck and went to Joe McCarthy, said, look here, I'm going to be a Yankee pitcher. Now, lots of fellas try to do that, but very few succeed, but that's what happened to Donald. They sent him over to Newark for a while, but he was a success over there, and now he's come to be a Yankee mainstay. And, of course, Marsh Joe has really got plenty of pitching, not perhaps the great pitching that they had at one time when Ruffing was younger and Gomez was younger, but still they're good pitchers, and he's got a lot of it, and not the least of them, this fella, Atlee Donald, the farm boy that just got down off the truck and came and said, Mr. McCarthy, I'm going to be a pitcher with the Yankees, and turned out to be one. You know about Kirby Higbee, most of you fans. He's what's known as a strong arm pitcher in baseball. He's a fellow that blazes it through there. There seemed to be a question about Higbee with the Yankees. I've got a lot of confidence in him. A fellow that can win 20 ball games, well, he's a pretty good pitcher in my book, and I see no reason why he shouldn't pitch a good game here, even though the Brooklyn team does have to go in without quite full strength. Here comes Miss Monroe, and I'm just watching so that I won't interrupt here. Casey was... Here's the announcement.
Monroe of the Austrian Victor Company will sing the national anthem. It will be accompanied by Carlos Santos and his band. The color card is from the USS Seattle. Miss Monroe.
I'd be most happy if everybody here in the ballpark, as well as everyone listening in on the air, would join in and sing with me.
It's a grand thing, isn't it, that we're all learning to sing that song in this country now. Now, I haven't much more time, but I would like to say that Casey told Red Barber yesterday the reason he didn't cover first on that play was that he saw the ball go by Camilli and figured it was a hit and stopped after he'd started. And now I'm going to turn you back to my very, very good friend, Bob Elson.
Thank you very much, Bill. Now, friends, in just a second, we'll give you the official lineup again for today's game. You know, it sure is a big moment for Brooklyn, and you men everywhere will chalk this up as a red-letter day if you take advantage of Gillette's special World Series combination offer. Because, fans, you get a regular 25-cent tube of Gillette shaving cream, lather or brushless, absolutely free with the purchase of 10 Gillette Blue Blades. Yes, sir, I mean just that. The shaving cream is an out-and-out gift. You pay only 49 cents, the price of the blades alone. And remember, these are today's vastly improved Gillette Blue Blades. By all odds, the easiest shaving blades ever produced. The steel is diamond tested, so hard it actually cuts glass. What's more, the edges are absolutely the sharpest you've ever used. No wonder these blades outperform and outlast other blades better than 2 to 1. Now, fans, let me urge you in all sincerity to make the most of this opportunity. Stock up while you've got the chance. This offer is limited. The supply can't last long. So make it a point to see your dealer today. Take your choice of either the lather or brushless cream free with 10 Gillette Blue Blades for only 49 cents. Well, the umpires have just come out. At the plate today will be Getz of the National League. At third base will be Bill Grieve of the American League. At second will be Babe Pinelli of the National League. And at first base will be Bill McGowan of the American League. We don't anticipate any changes in the lineups because the lineups I gave you were already called down to us from the press box. The two notable changes today are that Riggs will play third for Brooklyn in place of Lavagetto, in that Coscarart will play second in place of Billy Herman. Outside of that, with the natural exceptions of the pitchers, the lineups are the same as we have seen them in the other games. Now, for just one last second, the boys are up there dragging the infield to be sure it's real smooth, getting it all set. It's a perfect day. The stage is all set for the number 4 game of this exciting World Series, the 4th game being played here at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. And so now I'm going to turn our mutual microphone over to my co-worker here in the World Series, Red Barber, the crack baseball reporter of station WOR, who's all set to give you his thrilling account of the first half of this ball game today. All right, Red, come in.
Thank you, Bob. Good afternoon, everybody. Kirby Higbee, who will have to start a half an inning sooner than Atlee Donald, is really pouring in the last of his warm-up pitches right now. And he is not stopping at all for the conference between the umpires and the two coaches, Fletcher of the Yankees and Gresson of the Dodgers. And now that conference is breaking up. After playing here yesterday, of course, they have very little to go over today in the way of ground rules to refresh themselves and to be all straight. And Higbee continues throwing right to the last moment, and it is apparent now that he will throw until he turns to go to the mound to start the game and will not go back into the dugout. The announcements are still being checked over the public address system, and they're just as Bob gave you. Johnny Sturm has selected his bat and is standing over at one end of the Yankee dugout, waiting to be the first hitter, but the Dodgers have yet to take the field. And now each team is sending down its bullpen squad. For Brooklyn, Casey and Allen, right-handers, and French, a left-hander, have gone down to the Brooklyn bullpen, and sitting in the front of the Yankee dugout, waiting to go down into the bullpen, are 3 right-handers, Brewer, Murphy, and Branch. It was Brewer and Branch who were working the bullpen yesterday. And the Dodgers go out to take the field. We'll set the Brooklyn club for you. And there is the Yankee bullpen contingent going down now into the left field corner. Kirby Higbee on the mound. Won 22 games and lost 9 in the pennant race. Kid from Columbia, South Carolina, 26 years old, 5'11", and 185 pounds. Mickey Owen, back of the plate. The first base is Dolph Camilli at second base. And it is indeed a large pair of shoes that he is being asked to step into and walk away with. Pete Coscarart, Billy Herman out. Herman yesterday pulled something between his ribs in his left side. And it was very painful, a very painful and muscular hurt. It hurt him so that he could hardly get his breath, much less move around. And in addition to those other Yankee pitchers I told you going down to the bullpen, there is a 4th going down, Steve Peake. So the Yankees have 4 men in the bullpen, and the Dodgers have 3. And now the Dodgers are sending down a fourth pitcher into the bullpen. A correction on that. It is a third catcher. So the bullpens are pretty well populated. So it's Koskrod at second base, filling in for Billy Herman, and it's doubtful that Herman will get in for a couple of days. I imagine that Herman is one fellow right now who wishes it would rain for 2 or 3 days, give him a chance to get some rest. However, there's no sign of rain with the weather like it is today. Reese is at shortstop, and Riggs goes to third base. Get a left-hand batter in against this right-handed starting pitcher, Donald, for the Yankees. And also Lavagetto's only had one hit an infield single so far in 3 games. Medwick is in left field, and in center, Pete Reza. And right, Dixie Walker. Johnny Sturm standing to one side. He has 3 hits for 12 at-bats so far in the World Series. It's a brilliant, hot, sunshiny afternoon, and Kirby Higbee is waiting for Sturm to step in. The outfield is straight away on Sturm. He hits pretty much to all fields. Riggs is in close by third. Here's the first pitch of the game. It's a high fastball for ball 1. Larry Getz of the National League is back at the plate calling balls and strikes. Bill McGowan of the American League is first. Dave Pinelli of the National League is second. And third is Bill Grieve of the American League staff. Art Fletcher is the third base coach for the Yankees. And Earl Combs back at first. Sturm runs up and takes a pitch that is through there. Sharp curve for a called strike. 1-1. And Kirby Higbee is more than anxious to be in this ball game. He was held out of the last important series when Brooklyn went into St. Louis, and he didn't pitch down there. And so far he's been held out of the World Series, and here he is on the mound. He's 1-1 with the first batter. Higbee throws, the fastball is swung on and missed for strike 2. 1-2. First man up, no score. The outfielders keep checking the sky after every pitch. It is a bright, brilliant blue, the kind of sky that hurts you to look up at it. Higbee throws, the curve swung on the line right back of second base. There's Reese up with it. The throw is in time by a step. And Reese goes back to second base to take Sturm's bid for a hit away from him. And it's the shortstop directly behind second. Moving over nimbly, coming up with it and throwing to Camilli, and Sturm is out. And so the ball game commences. 1 up and 1 out. And Red Rolfe, who has 4 hits for 12 official at-bats, left-hand batter, stepping in. Reese comes up almost to the inside grass by third. Koskrod at second. There's a step over toward first base. The outfield is straight away. Higbee throws. Strike. Ball. 0-1. Just buzzed that one right in there. Bill Corum told you Higbee is a strong-armed pitcher. He just rares back and pops him down. Now he shakes no. Nods yes. Pumps twice. Throws. Fastball, which is hit into left field for a clean base hit. Rolfe hustles down to first base, and after taking his turn, holds on as Medwick throws towards second and reaches the shortstop. Goes out to the edge of the left field grass and cuts it off. And Higbee, after shaking off Owens, came down with a fastball that was belted on a line into left field, and that is the 5th base hit for Red Rolfe so far in the series. He now has more hits than any other Yankee. He has more hits than any other player in the series. Now there's a runner at first, Red Rolfe. Tommy Henrich is up there, left-hand batter, who has 2 hits for 11 try. Outfield deep toward right. Henrich takes a high fastball, ball 1. 1-0. Outfield pulled around toward right. There's a bit of a breeze which is blowing out toward right field generally, but not enough wind to make a great deal of difference. Infield up a step. Higbee in position, throws. Henrich takes high for ball 2. Tommy cuts his eyes down at Art Fletcher, the third base coach. Takes a flash, as the ball players say, to see if there's a sign on. Henrich up there. DiMaggio kneeling on his right knee out on deck. 1 man out, no score. Top of the first inning. The pitch is a slow curve that is in for a call, strike 1. And Higbee pulled the string with a breaking ball and threw it over. Henrich, after bluffing all around the plate as though he was going to bunt, then just pulled his bat back and took it for a call strike. 2-1. Camilli holding first base against the runner. Kirby throws. There goes Rolfe. Henrich swings at a fly ball into left. Medwick is waiting for it, dumping his glove. The left fielder takes it. The throw is to second base and reaches the shortstop again. Intercepts it. Cuts it off. And with a hit and run on, Rolfe went down to second, then came back as Henrich cried out to left fielder Medwick. Now there is a tumultuous noise that goes rolling and re-echoing through these double-deck stands as DiMaggio steps in. The outfield is deep and well around toward left. The left side of the infield is way back, and shortstop Reese is 2/3 of the way over toward third. Cosgrove at second is almost over directly behind the bag, and Camilli holds the bag against Rolfe. A curve is high and inside at 3/4 speed for ball one. Right-handed pitcher, Kirby Higby, HRGPE. And a right-hand batter, Joe DiMaggio, standing up there in that flat-footed stance, feet wide apart. Brings that stick way back. Swings, and there's a high foul ball. It's coming down deep behind right field and lands untouched in the right field bullpen. And second baseman Cosgrove was the man who was closest to it, and he was 15 steps away. As we told you, the outfield was pulled well around toward left field, where right fielder Dixie Walker was practically almost over to center field. He had no chance at all on a high foul ball out alongside the right field line, about 10 feet foul. Now it's 1 ball and 1 strike. DiMaggio standing back, rubbing his hands dry, going for dirt. Now steps in and sets himself. Slightly open stance. Rolfe again leading off first. 2 out, no score, top of the first. Higby slowed down on a pitch just under the hand. Ball 2. DiMaggio took 1 hitch, took 2 hitches, and then says, "Oh, I don't want it." Took it for ball 2. 2-1. Leadoff ball. Higby in position with a runner on in back of him. Delivers. DiMaggio takes a low curve for ball 3. 3-1. Pass low outside curve. That ball is called for by plate umpire Larry Getz and inspected. It's found to be all right, not marked or roughed. 3 balls, 1 strike. The Yankees may have the run and hit on. Let's see. Rob dances off first and draws a throw. Slides back in under Camilli's tag safely. 3-1. DiMaggio waiting. Rolfe holds as the pitch is high inside for ball 4. Rolfe was not running, and DiMaggio has walked. The Yankees now have men at first and second. Rolfe moving to second base. He got on with a single, the only hit of the game, and DiMaggio with a walk. He's on at first. No activity. He left the bullpen. Here's Charlie Keller stepping in. Keller, who has 3 hits for 10 at-bats. DiMaggio, who was just up there and is at first, has 2 hits for 11 official at-bats. Keller stepping in. He's the Yankee strong boy. Chokes that stick just about an inch. Crowds that plate from behind for a left-hand batter. He's very stocky and powerful. Takes a high outside fastball for ball 1. 1-0. Rizzo was a few steps over toward right center, but in response to a sign from the Brooklyn bench, he moves back to where he's almost in straightaway center. Higby throws a curve that is high and outside, thrown by a right-hander to a left-hand batter, one that did not come down and in. Ball 2. And the breeze is a little more brisk as it blows out toward right field, which, as you know, is the short field at Brooklyn. 297 feet along the line, but there is a 39-foot wall and screen in back of right field. Now the runners off first and second, ready to go on anything. Higby comes down 2-0, and in there for a strike. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Mickey Owen settling down in his rocking chair, back at the plate, pumping the sign. Now comes halfway up. Higby pitches 2-1. A fastball which is hit wide of first and through in the right field for a base hit. There is Rolfe coming around third to score. Walker's throw goes to third base, but not in time. DiMaggio reaches there standing up as Keller singles sharply through the hole between first and second into right field. Hit it right on the nose. And the Yankees go ahead 1-0. And this is the first time that either team has scored a run in the first inning of a World Series game this year. And Joe McCarthy has come tearing out of the Yankees dugout and is having a bit of a conference to Larry Getz, the plate umpire. And whatever Joe says, we can't figure out, but at any rate, Getz turns around and says very vehemently and points to himself that whatever the decision is, that he would give it. Solid base hit for Charlie Keller. His 3rd hit of the series, and the Yankees go ahead 1-0. That's the first run scored in any first inning for either team in so far this World Series. Now DiMaggio's at third, Keller at first, Bill Dickey up. Swings and misses at a fastball inside, practically on his hands. 0-1. These two hits here in the first inning have both been sharp. Outfield, straight away on Dickey. Tall catcher leans over the plate and then leans away from a pitch that's inside, waist high. Ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Higbee rubs the fingers of his right hand across the front of his uniform. Single a walk with 2 out, a single by Keller, and the Yankees lead 1-0. Dickey takes a curve low inside, just above the knees. Ball 2. 2-1. Higbee turns, walks off the mound, goes for the rosin bag, stands there. No activity in the Brooklyn bullpen. Dickey steps out of the box, gets tired of waiting. DiMaggio leaning down off third. He can really lope around those bases. On that single into right field, he reached third base standing up. Didn't have to slide. Dickey swings, breaks his bat, hits a line drive at Cascarot, traps, and throws to first base in time for the out. Cascarot trapped the ball and had to make the play at first. Dickey broke his bat. There it snapped. And the out was accomplished. Second baseman to the first baseman for the Yankees in the top of the first inning. It is 1 run, 2 hits. 2 men were left. No Brooklyn errors. When the Yankees come back in the second, it'll be the third of their hitting list of 9. Gordon, Rizzuto, and Adley Donald. At the moment, Donald is walking out to the mound. He's tall, 6 feet, 185 pounds, and has very long arms, and has a tremendously complete follow-through. He's very loose, and when he is snapping off his pitches, he makes a complete turn out there on the mound, and when he finishes his follow-through, his pitching hand, his right hand, is practically down on the ground. For Brooklyn, Reese will be first up, followed by Walker, and then by Reza. It's a magnificent afternoon from the weather standpoint. The temperature is in the high 80s, and the humidity is 50%. And the sun is bright, and as the ball players say, there is not an angel in the sky, meaning a cloud. When the players look up on pop flies and fly balls, they're looking into nothing but bright blue. For the Yankees, it is Donald limbering up, throwing down to Buddy Rozar. Now Rozar surrenders the mitt to Dickey. Dickey making the last out. Top of the first inning, had to go back, put on the catching tools. The mask, chest protecting the shin guards. And now Dickey is receiving the rest of the preliminary pitches thrown by Donald. The infield is Sturm at first. Gordon at second. Rizzuto at short. Ralph at third. In left field is Charlie Keller, who drove in the Yankees 1 run as they lead 1-0. Center field is DiMaggio. And in right field is Tommy Henry. Reese, who has 4 for 12. Stepping in to be the first batter, last half of the first inning. Charlie Dresden is the Brooklyn third base coach. And the MGR himself, Leo DeRocha, back at first. There's Donald, a tall right-hander. Throws overhand a fastball that is fouled up halfway to first base. Dickey goes down, and the catcher grabs it. Either Dickey or Sturm could have made the catch, but Dickey was under a full head of steam, and Sturm got out of the way. But Sturm took a look up at that foul ball, and after Dickey made the catch, Sturm sort of shook his head as if to say, it's tough looking up above. And Reese going after the first pitch, fouls out to catcher Bill Dickey. 1 up, 1 pitch made by Donald, 1 out. Last the first inning, 1-0. Favor the Yankees. Dixie Walker, who has 1 hit for 10 at bats. Standing to one side, knocking the dirt out from under his spikes. Now steps in, tall, willowy, loose left-handed batter. Bill Dickey down to give the sign. The Yankee outfield toward right. There's a high outside fastball, ball 1. Donald, 1-9. Lost 5 this last year. There he is, a full sweeping stretch up overhead. Delivers. Pours a fastball through there for a called strike. 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dixie standing right in the middle of batter's box. Donald works. Fred bunts down toward third base. Donald off the mound. Picks it up. The throw to first base is in time by a half step. And Walker is thrown out. The pitcher to the first baseman. Push to bunt. Midway between the mound and third. Donald could get there a step ahead of Rolfe. And that step difference made the play. And Walker's out. Pitcher to the first baseman. Pete Reza, who has 1 for 11, steps in. Donald looks around, checking the Yankee defense in back of it. Gordon is deep at second base. The outfield around toward right. Riza takes a high curve just under the shoulders for a called strike. 0-1. Donald ready. When he goes down, Scott is puffing. He almost touches the ground. Straightens up, throws. Riza swings and misses at a high inside fastball that really had something on it. All right, strike two. It's 1-0 favor the Yankees. 2 out for Brooklyn. Nobody on. Last first inning. This is game number 4. The 1941 World Series. Now stand 2 games for the Yankees. 1 for the Dodgers. Left side of the infield up halfway. Riza's fast. Pete swings and there's a foul. Back of third and into the stands. Upper deck. 0-2. Everything sort of quiet for the moment as Donald walks around back of the mound, rubbing up the ball that's just been put in play. Dickey goes down. Lewis Crouch to give the sign. Great umpire gets working off the catcher's right shoulder into the crack between the catcher and the left-hand batter. There's Donald pumping. Throws high for ball 1. Sort of wasted a fastball up there to see if Riza would go after it. He didn't. 1-2. And the wind is now blowing rather steadily, but not too strongly, out toward right field. There's a pitch that is high, a sort of a 3/4 speed let-up ball. 2-2. Donald looks down into the ground in front of him as though he was reading a note from somebody. Now lifts his eyes, takes the sign from Dickey, and starts pumping. Throws. Riza takes high for ball 3, and Donald threw him a high downer. Didn't come down enough. Full count of 3-2. After getting ahead of Riza, 0-2. Donald then started working on him. He's been pitching him first a fastball, then a let-up pitch, and then a downer, all high. So they're not pitching Riza anything low if they can help it. Donald pumping twice, 3 times. Delivers 3-2. Riza swings and misses at a high inside fastball. Strike 3 swinging. And it's nothing across for Brooklyn. Down 1-2-3. At the end of the first inning, it is a run. 2 hits and no errors for the Yankees. No runs, no hits and no errors for the Dodgers. And that ends the first inning.
There's punch and plenty of it behind Gillette's big offer, friends. Yes, sir, free Gillette shaving cream, either lather or brushless, with the purchase of 10 easy shaving Gillette Blue blades at the regular price of the blades alone. You can't tie that. So pop over to your dealers while this offer lasts. Get a tube of Gillette shaving cream with 10 improved Gillette Blue blades for only 49 cents. Well, this 4th game of the World Series is now going into the 2nd inning. 0-0, and here's Red.
Joe Gordon, who has 4 hits for 6 official at-bats. First up in the 2nd inning, will be followed by Rizzuto, then by Donald. In case you just tuned in, the Yankees jumped off to a 1-run lead in the first inning, which has just been finished, of this 4th World Series ball game when after Sturm had grounded out short to first, a brilliant play by Reese, Robb singled sharply on a line into left field, then held on as Henrik flied out to left, and with 2 gone, DiMaggio walked, getting ball 4 on a 3-1 pitch, which was a let-up ball high and inside. And then Keller promptly shot a line drive single through the hole between first and second into right field, and Robb scored. Higbee, who was ready to pitch to Gordon, got out of it, getting Dickey to break his bat swing on a pitch, bounce 1 out, second to first. Outfield well around toward left on Joe, who takes a high outside fastball, ball 1. Gordon is one of the most feared batters in baseball. Magnificent eyes, magnificent coordination, and a great set of wrists. Higbee pitches. Gordon takes high for ball 2. 2-0. Gordon steps back, goes for some dirt. This is just as hot an afternoon as you would expect in midsummer. The heat is really blistering. Players are perspiring freely. That's why you see them going into the dirt after every pitch when they're hitting. There's a pitch high and inside for ball 3, and Higbee's behind 3-0. First man up. And there's Coach Charlie Dresden stepping from the Brooklyn dugout and motioning down to the bullpen for activity, and motions with his left arm. That means French. Gordon takes a strike. 3-0 pitch was laid through there. And left-hander Larry French, who relieved and pitched to one man yesterday in the 8th inning, which turned the ball game upside down. That was Dickey. French got him hit into a double play. And French is getting busy down the Brooklyn bullpen right now. Gordon swings on a 3-1 pitch and fouls it to the top of the stands behind third base. 3-1. 3-2. Full count. Higby very calmly going about his business out there on the mound. Outfield as deep as it can get. Around toward left. Kirby sets, pumps, delivers. Gordon swings and hits it right back to the mound. Higby knocks it down, picks it up. The throw is to first, in time by a step and a half, and Gordon is out. The pitcher to the first baseman. And the story on that is that Higby was behind 3-0 to Gordon with his first 3 pitches. Dresden stepped out of the Dodger dugout, motioned for left-hander Larry French to get busy in the bullpen, and then Higby threw nothing but strikes and got Gordon throwing him out at first himself. Now it is 1 up and 1 gone, top of the second. Scooter Rizzuto, stocky right-hand batter, takes a fastball inside after looking for a split second as though he might be toying with the idea of laying down a bunt. 1 ball, no strikes. Briggs in close by third. Rizzuto is very adept, pushing bunts down toward third and beating them out. Higby throws a high outside curve, ball 2. 2-0. Higby looks in toward the Brooklyn dugout, toward DeRocha. Makes some sort of sign with his hands, and Higby nods in the affirmative. Kirby pitches 2-0. Fastball right above the knees, over the inside slice for a called strike. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 man out, nobody on. No traffic on the bases at all here in the second inning. The Yankees lead 1-0. Well, the great crowd settles down silently and watches. Rizzuto swings. There's a fly ball into short center. Here's Reza coming in. Now he's under it. And center fielder has it for the out. 2 up and 2 gone. And pitcher Donald is just now stepping out of the Yankee dugout. Here he is coming into view, and there's the applause growing as the fans out here see it. Donald is a right-handed pitcher, but a left-hand batter. French, who was throwing very busily for about 2 minutes down in the bullpen, is now sort of eased up. Donald, leaning over the plate, takes a high outside fastball. Ball 1. The outfield is not around toward right. They don't figure Donald to pull Higby. There's a fastball blown right through. 1-1. The reason the center field is over toward left center. Medwick is a couple of steps closer than normal, or straight away, toward the line. Higby throws. There's a high pop fly to short. There's Reese going back, shielding his eyes with his glove, and makes the catch. He had been looking at that sky a long time. There's nothing across for the Yankees. Top of the second inning. Up 1-2-3 and out. And the Yankees lead 1-0. And that ends the first half of the second inning.
Almost 35,000 of the Flatbush faithful have Ebbets Field bulging at the seams here today. That's a lot of people, and yet more than 100 times that many men have purchased Gillette Tech razors in recent months. Boy, to win fans at this rate, you've got to be good. Well, this Tech razor really has what it takes. Why, we could spend the rest of the afternoon reading wires from users. You should hear what users, including the players on both these embattled teams, have to say. Joe DiMaggio, for example, reports, the Gillette Tech put me wise to real shaving comfort. The Tech's 4 major improvements account for such enthusiasm as this. See what a difference they make. Ask your dealer for the World Series Special Gillette Tech with 5 improved Gillette Blue Blades. Pay only 49 cents and get the slickest shaving combination ever produced. Now going into the last half of the second inning, and here's Red.
Dolph Camilli is first up for the Dodgers, to be followed by Riggs and then by Medwick. The outfield around toward right. Camilli has 1 hit for 10 at-bats in the series. Takes a curve that breaks into him good for a called strike. Donald right-hander on the mound. Bill Dickey is his battery mate. Camilli standing midway in batter's box. Leans in, swings, and there's a high one hit out toward right field. And it is up against the wall for an extra base. There's Camilli on his way for second. Here comes DiMaggio's throw. Dolph slides and is safe. And Camilli doubles. Sliding in just under Rizzuto's tag. And that was a beautiful throw from DiMaggio, who took the ball on the rebound on the column as it came off the right field concrete wall. Rizzuto was a little bit, well, shall we say, burning at the moment when Camilli was called safe. However, Rizzuto was trying to make the tag from the center field side of second base, and Camilli, seeing what was coming up, slid in from the pitcher's side of second base, and that made the difference. So Camilli on at second. And Lou Riggs is up. He's hitting at 1,000 in the series. He pinch hit in the first game. He's 1 for 1. This is his first starting assignment. Left-hand batter, Anna Crouch. Takes high inside for ball 1. The Yankees lead 1-0, and the Dodgers are battling now. Take that leg away and tie it up. Roth is right off third. Rizzuto is halfway up at short. The right side of the infield is back. Outfield shaded toward right. Donald throws. Riggs swings, and there's a high foul back to the top of the stands. Out of play. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's manager DeRocha coming down from behind first base where he's coaching. Calls Riggs to one side. Tells him something. Now Leo goes trotting back. Larry Getz steps around, brushes it off home plate. Bill Dickey walked a few paces out in front of the plate. Said something to Donald. Now the tall, long-armed right-hander for the Yankees, Anthony Donald, stands there in the sun, shining down on him. Camilli dances off second. Riggs crouches over the plate. Right-hander pitches. Riggs takes high and inside for ball 2. 2-1. And every time that a Yankee pitcher is in the slightest bit of trouble, Dickey immediately starts walking in front of the plate, killing a little time before throwing the ball back. It's a device he uses to sort of keep the pitcher going along easily and not letting him work too much of a hurry. Donald throws. Riggs swings, and there's a high fly ball into very short right. Underneath it is right fielder Henrik, waiting. Makes the catch, and Camilli holds at second base, and the throw-in goes to second. And Henrik was coming in all the time with his glove up over his face in addition to his sunglasses. That's how strong the sun is and how bright the sky. Sunglasses are not enough today. Now Riggs, fly ball to the right field, and it's 1 out. Joe Medrick stepping in. Joe has 4 for 12. Don Camilli on at second. Open up the last half of the second with a 2-bagger. Outfield is around toward left on Medrick. The biggest hole is right center. Infield is up 1 step and straight away. Medrick swings, bounces 1 to third. Rolfe grabs it, drives the runner back to second, throws to first high, and Henrik gets off the bag and gets back in time. And Medrick and DeRocha are now making a squawk to first base umpire Bill McGowan, claiming that Sturm did not get his toe back onto the bag. And is out number 2, and Camilli remains at second base. The ball was hit to third ahead of the runner. And it's now 2 out. That was a very high throw from Rolfe that an inch higher would have been a complete overthrow and into the stands. As it was, Sturm had to leave first base, went way up into the air, and then coming down, stretched with his foot, and just did tick the corner of first base. That's 2 gone. The batter is Mickey Owen, and the Yankees still hold their lead of 1-0. And Camilli, who opens up with the double last to second, is still at second. Infield up a step on Mickey. Camilli ready to go on anything now. 2 out. Owen gets tired of waiting on Donald and backs up. I don't believe you can recall a series in which all pitching has been done with so much deliberation. Now Owen's back in there. Completely closed stance. Takes a high inside curve for ball 1. Donald was working along in the first inning when he was setting the Dodgers down as fast as they got up. Just firing that ball back as quick as he could get the sign from Dickey. But here in the second inning with Camilli at second, taking his time. Throws a fast sidearm fastball through there. And it's ball strike 1. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dickey walks out in front of the plate, and the ball is thrown in. Larry Getz takes it out of play. Puts in another one. Mickey Owen turned around and asked for that examination. 1-1. Dickey standing in front of the plate, and Donald turns his back on him. Now Donald fiddles around. Owen, meantime, puffing at stick, leaning over the plate. Cross-crutch, bend at the knees, and a severe crouch. Chokes that stick about 2 inches up from the knob. Donald throws. In fact, I guess I'd say that between pitches here in the last half of the second inning, we'd have time for at least maybe 2 Gillette shaves. Donald throws 2-2. A curve that just misses low inside, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So it's an automatic run and hit. Mickey Owen at first, ultimately at second, will be on their ways. On a favorable motion of Donald's right arm. The pitch is Koscarod's judgment. Outside, ball 4, he'll take it. It's in the strike zone, he'll be after it. Let's see what happens. Donald in position. There's a stir in the stands. The pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. A fast sidearm pitch just at the spot around the knee. Koscarod was struck out. And that was all for the Brooklyn bid. That's the second strikeout for Donald. And so it is a run, 2 hits, no errors for the Yankees. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors for the Dodgers. It's a story for 2 full innings, 1-0. Favor the Yankees. And on the broadcast with the best wishes of the Gillette Safety Razor Company. We're going to pause for 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
This is WGN, the voice of the people, Chicago.
Back at Ebbets Field, Brooklyn. Getting ready for the 3rd inning in the top of the Yankee batting order. Higbee is taking his time, and he's just now leaving the Dodger dugout and walking to the mound. And this game is being played with more deliberation than all of the others put together. And we thought in the other games we'd seen some very deliberate baseball staged. I think it is a part of what you would call the practical playing psychology of the 2 teams. Here in a tough series, to have the pitchers take their time and let the hitters wait. As the pitchers say, let the boys cool off up there. And on occasion, we've seen the fire return when the batters, seeing that the pitcher would be just ready to throw, would step back out of the box. That would be calculated to upset the pitcher to a degree. If you recall yesterday when Johnny Allen came on to relieve in the 9th inning, it was Russo himself who stepped out on Allen. And Allen was exploded enough to come all the way down to the plate and bellow. However, it didn't upset his pitching efficiency. But at any rate, that gives you a key as to what they're trying to do, and it is being done calculatedly and deliberately. Now Higbee's ready. And Stern, who opened the ball game by being thrown out, has reached the shortstop, went back at second for the grounder. Stern was up for his second at bat. He now has 3 hits from 13 official tries here in the series. Outfield shaded around toward left. 1-0, favor the Yankees. Stern swings and fouls the first pitch right back. It hits the stands with a solid crack, hit a pipe. 0-1. Higbee pitching. He's one of the fellows who defies the fates. He wears number 13. In fact, that would have been quite a story if 13 were Fitzsimmons' number. The way he was cracked on the knee yesterday. Stern, a left-hand hitter. Leaning over the plate, takes from the outside. Ball 1. Higbee, a right-hander. Mickey Owen catching. Swilly at first. Koscarod at second. Reese is at short. At third is Lou Riggs today. Avigello played third the first 3 games. Stern swings as a drive out toward right field. Walker going over against the wall and pulls it down for the out. That's all for Stern. Nice running catch by right fielder Dixie Walker. In the outfield for Brooklyn, there's Medwick in left field, Reese in center, and Walker in right. There's been no change there throughout the entire series. There's been no change in any of the Yankee positions except on the mound. Red Rolfe got the first hit of the ball game, and that ultimately led to the 1 run of the game. Rolfe singled in the first inning. That's 5 for 13. Left-hand batter. Takes a low curve under the knees. Ball 1. The breeze that was an inning ago now isn't. Flags hanging limp at the stabs. Rolfe takes a strike. Just above the knees. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-0, favor the Yankees. Rolfe a single in the first inning, moving to second as DiMaggio walked and scored on Keller's single. Higbee throws. Rolfe swings and belts it right back through the middle. A line drive into short center for a clean base hit. And Rolfe now has 2 for 2 this afternoon. He has 2 of the 3 Yankee hits off Higbee. And Rolfe now has a total of 6 base hits here in the series. Tommy Henry who has 2 hits for 12 at-bats stepping in. Guards the plate from behind is a left-hand batter. Cowtails that wood. They're down by the end. 1 out. Rolfe at first. Henrik takes a let-up ball, a slow pitch. Change of pace. It was outside. Ball 1. Come into the first baseman holding the bag against the runner. Then as Higbee pitches into the plate, Dolph cuts out a couple of steps. Henrik swings and misses at a hipper-dipper curveball, breaking down under his hands. 1-1. Outfield shaded toward right and back. Henrik sets, takes fastball low and outside. Ball 2. 2-1. No activity in the bullpen. French did throw some in the second inning when it looked as though Higbee was going to lose his control, and he hasn't thrown since, and there has not been a ball thrown in the Yankee bullpen in back of Donald. Higbee pitches low outside for ball 3. 3-1. And there's Dresden stepping out in front of the Dodger dugout and motioning for a left-hander and a right-hander to get busy. So there's French getting up. There's the pitch. A strike call just under the shoulders on the outside. 3-2. And the right-hander getting up is Hugh Casey. To Henrik. Let's see if Rolfe is going down. Well, the Yankees are playing a run and hit or not. 1 out. Higbee delivers. There goes Rolfe. Henrik swings and it's a line drive foul. And French knocks it down in the Brooklyn bullpen. Turned around from the crack of the bat. And the ball came to him on the first bounce. Just missed about 4 feet. And Rolfe, who was all the way around to third, pulls up, goes cutting back diagonally across the diamond, walking toward first. So it's 3-2 right on. Well, the Yankees were running then. Let's see if they're running again. This has been a running series. I can recall no World Series in which the games have been tied. You'd figure 3-2, 3-2, and 2-1 ball games. You'd have a lot of bunting and playing for 1 run, but it hasn't been that way at all. Higbee in position, delivers. There goes Rolfe again. Henrik swings. There's a high fly ball deep into right center. It's way back out yonder. Walker back to the wall. Reza back. And Walker makes the catch. Complete against the wall. The throw comes into second base, and Rolfe gets back to first. Dixie Walker takes one right off the concrete, 400 feet away. Listen. That was a tremendous high fly ball, belted in the general direction of where the World's Fair was a year ago. And Walker went right back up against the concrete wall, deep right center. Reza, the center fielder, was coming over and hesitated slightly, but Walker didn't. He powered right on and made the catch. Now it is 2 out. DiMaggio up and Rolfe is back at first. And Joe gets away for one. It's right up under the chin. Outfield deep around toward left. DiMaggio walked in the first inning. The pitch is change of pace, very slow, down in front of the shins. Ball 2. And Brooklyn pitchers continue pitching here and there, around and about, giving DiMaggio some of this and some of that. Anything of the same, right back again if they can help it. Higbee throws a fast ball that is beaten down foul, and DiMaggio really wound up on it. He windmilled for that one. 2-1. Joe doesn't say anything. That first pitch really made him almost get under a low bridge. 2-1. 2 out. The Yankees lead 1-0. And they are at bat in the third inning with Red Rolfe, possessor of 2 straight singles. The runner at first, Millie Holding. Higbee throws. DiMaggio swings at a pounding ball to deep short. Reese is up with it. Throws to second to Cosgrove for an easy force on Rolfe. The runner coming down from first. He scored DiMaggio the 4th out, and Higbee pitches out of that trouble in the third inning. And Dixie Walker really turned it. There's a tremendous ovation given Walker as he comes tearing into the stand. Listen. And so at the end of 2.5 innings, it is a run, 3 hits, no errors for the Yankees. For the Dodgers, it is no run, 1 hit, and no errors. And there is Donald. Tall. long-armed, long-legged right-hander. He's very loose out there on the mound. One of the loosest pitchers you'll ever see. When he has nobody on, he's using a full pumping motion. He bends down until his gloved hand, the fingers of the glove, actually scrape the ground. It's a pumping motion which is just as complete as Vandermeer of the Cincinnati Reds. And then when he follows through, he comes all the way around. Throwing down to Bill Dickey. And the Yankee club now on the field defensively in the last of the third. There's applause for Higbee as he comes out to be the first batter in the last of the third inning. Donald and Dickey the battery, an infield of Sturm at first, Gordon at second, Rizzuto at short, and Rolfe at third. In the outfield, Keller is in left. In center, DiMaggio, and in right field is Henry. Kirby Higbee, a big 13, passes on the back of his monkey suit blouse. Right-hand batter up there. Swings and taps a pitch foul. Back at first base is coming down close to the stands and in amidst the spectators and out of play. Sturm is over there watching. 0-1. Higbee swinging a brown bat. Holds it down by the end. Outfield a couple of steps toward right. They don't play him to pull. Higbee swings, fouls it back. Strike two. Everything sort of quiet. Two teams battling along, never out of reach of the other. This game so far is following the pattern set by the first three. Higbee swings and hits it into left center field for a base hit. It's in for a clean single. Higbee, to the roar of the crowd, pulls up at first. 2 strikes on him. Donald slowed up somewhat, and Higbee timed it and tapped it. Into center. That is at number 2 to the Dodgers. Now DeRocha is holding Higbee's jacket. Kirby slips his arms in. Keep his right arm warm. Now the top of the Brooklyn batting order, beginning its second go-round. Reese to be followed by Walker. Scores 1-0. Favor the Yankees, and the Dodgers have the potential tying run on at first. Now Rolfe is right off third. Sturm is right off first. They're both ready to come in if a bunt's going to be the play. Donald throws, Reese sets the bunt, and then takes a pitch that's high and outside. Ball 1. The maneuvering of the infield, as you know, on a bunt play. On the pitch, the first baseman comes running in. The third baseman comes running in. The shortstop goes over to cover second, and the second baseman comes over to take first. And the pitcher breaks off the mound toward the third base line. Here's the pitch, and Reese bunts at it and misses it completely. The pitch was over anyhow for a strike. 1-1. Now there's Sturm walking back, take first base. Rolfe backing back toward third. Rizzuto going back out to short. Gordon back to second. Outfield around toward left. Biggest hole is right center. 1-1. Reese Slim, the right-hand batter. Here's Sturm halfway in, and then there's no pitch. Donald backs back off the mound. And the Yankee infield now is, by their action, virtually certain that Reese will be bunting. Let's see. 1-1. Reese swings. There's a bounding ball down toward second base. Gordon up with it. The plays back to second base, and Higbee is forced. And Reese is on at first with a force out. And what the Dodgers tried to do was cross up the Yankee infield, but it's awful hard to do it the right side with a man by the name of Joe Gordon down there. Because that was a bounding ball which was hit down to the right side of the infield, and Gordon was up with it and played back to Rizzuto, the shortstop, covering at second base. And it was a force on Higbee. Reese is on with the force out. Speaking in terms of a potential sacrifice a moment ago, friends, there is no need to sacrifice shaving comfort another day. Get one of those Gillette Tech razors and see how easy shaving can be. Bill Dickey out at the mound, talking to Donald for the moment. Here's Dixie Walker coming in. And with Donald taking so much time on the mound, in fact, the Yankee pitchers, Ruffing set the pattern, and everyone thought he was quite deliberate the opening day game. But the pitchers who have followed have been even more deliberate, and today Donald is setting an all-time record of time elapsed between pitches when he has men on. Walker up, left-hand batter. Dixie swings as a line drive into short left. Keller comes in under it and takes it for the out. And Reese, halfway down to second, returns back to first. What we started to say was, in answer to Donald's taking so much time, the Brooklyn batters are deliberately now being very slow about getting in to even begin hitting. 2 out for the Dodgers. Last of the third. 1-0 favor the Yankees. Here's Pete Reza, who was struck out swinging in the first inning. Left-hand batter. He has 1 for 12. Outfield around toward right. Donald throws. Reza takes a fastball low on outside. That's the first low pitch that Reza has seen today. But that one was low and away. Ball 1. Reese at first, ready to go on anything, and Stern is giving him full attention, holding the bag against him. Donald in position. Throws. Reza swings at a bounding ball deep to the right side. Gordon juggles it as it goes through. And there is Reese going around second for third. Reza spins around first base, puts on the brakes, and then comes back into first. Gordon came over and did very well to get a glove on the ball, but couldn't hold it. It went on through and into right field. We're waiting for the judgment of the score, and it's a hit. It's a single for Reza. Single through the second baseman. And Reese, running with 2 outs, zoomed around and into third base, and that is the third hit for Rooker. There's no activity in the Yankee bullpen, and Dolph Camilli, who doubled in the second inning, is stepping up. Bill Dickey walks in front of the plate. There are the Yankees using the delay tactics again. Dickey holds up 2 fingers, indicating 2 out. And every pitch is being very carefully thought out. Every maneuver is being plotted. Outfield around toward right. Donald in position. Reese leading down off third. Reese off first. Camilli swings and misses. And he really took a cut. Dickey walks in front of the plate and returns the ball to the mound. 0-1. As Dickey goes back at the plate, cuts his eyes into the dugout. It's 1-0 favor the Yankees. And Camilli, one of the most dangerous hitters in baseball because he swings hard and always swings, is up there. The roommates are on the bases. Reese at third, Reza at first. Donald delivers high outside. Ball 1, 1-1. 2 men gone. Outfield around toward right. Now there's a steady hubbub rolling around the over 30,000 fans. One ball, 1 strike. Donald waiting, now throws. A fastball low inside. Dickey had to stop right down in front of his right foot. Now Bill slips his mitt, starts rubbing the ball, and walks out toward the mound. 2 balls, 1 strike to Camilli. Gee, this weather. You'd be surprised to really know what the weather has done to the fall wardrobes of the fair sex. They were all set for this series with furs, etc., but they're having little chance to wear them. Shirt sleeve weather. Donald pitches 2-1. Camilli swings and grounds it foul, halfway down toward first base. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gordon comes in from second to the mound. He's talking to Donald. Ralph comes over from third. And now Larry gets orders that ball to be thrown into him for an inspection. And after twirling it in his fingers, you find some abrasion on it. Tosses it out, puts in another new one. And Dickey takes it, rubbing it up, walks out to the mound. So the status. 1-0 is the score. Favor the Yankees. The Dodgers are threatening the last of the second inning. It's 2-2 to Camilli. Reese is the runner at third base, and Reza is the runner at first, and they both can fly. The outfield is deep and around toward right on Dolph. Left side of the infield is up a step with Rizzuto at short, pinched in toward second. Gordon is his normal depth. Straight away at second base, and Sturm holding first against Reza. Here's the pitch. It's a curveball under the hands, taken for ball 3. It's 3-2 to Camilli. And now DeRocha runs over to first base to remind Reza to be sure and be on his way, that it's an automatic run and hit as far as he and Camilli are concerned. 3-2. Ralph pushes the peak of his cap up slightly above his eyes and steps in. Dickey goes down very coolly in the catching crouch. Pumps the sign. This could be a very important pitch right now. Donald looks down, takes the sign. Stretches, and then Camilli backs out. And Camilli backs out on him. Now Donald is allowed to stand there on the mound. 3-2. Brother steps back in, and Donald goes back at the mound with a rosin bag. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Camilli's waiting. Donald sets, In position. Delivers. Camilli swings at a ground ball straight to first baseman Stern, who picks it up with his foot already on the bag, and Camilli is out. And Darlow slowed down slightly on that pitch, and Dolph overswung on it. Grounded out to the opposing first baseman. Unassisted. That's all for the Brooklyn bid. No runs and 2 hits. 2 men were left. No Yankee errors. The end of 3 innings. A run. 3 hits. And no errors for the Yankees. No runs, 3 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. And that ends the 3rd inning.
Well, before Charlie Keller steps up to the platter and starts the 4th inning, I've time to remind you again of Gillette's free shaving cream offer. And I mean free. You get a regular 25-cent tube of Gillette shaving cream, lather or brushless, with 10 easy shaving, glass-hard Gillette blue blades for 49 cents. Just the price of the blades alone. So see your dealer, men. Get yours today. All right, this 4th game of the World Series is going into the 4th inning. Score 1-0, favor of the Yankees, and here's Red Barber.
Well, the delay in the pitches and the batter stepping out too reminds us of one of those priceless stories of Al Shacks. I think he tells it on Mo Berg that the second game was a doubleheader and Mo was having to catch both of them. It was very hot. That the pitcher was, Mo would go down and give the sign, the pitcher would get ready to pitch, and the batter would step out, and then when the batter would step in, the pitcher would break back off the rubber, and so finally Berg went over and sat down in the dugout. Said to the plate umpire, notify those two whenever they're ready to play ball, I'll come out and catch. Here's Charlie Keller, who's single in the 1st inning, ripped into right field, sent the Yankees ahead 1-0. That's the way the score stands right now. Higbee pitches, and Keller swings and fouls one behind first base. He fell away from an inside pitch and then went after it. Strike 1. Keller has 4 hits for 11 at-bats. And it is amazing that the pitching efficiency continues at such a high standard throughout this series, because you have 2 tremendously strong power ball clubs. 2 clubs that can hit. Higbee throws and misses with his change of pace on the outside. 1-1. Outfield around toward right. First man up in the 4th inning. 1-0, favor the Yankees. The pitch is a low inside curve down by the shins. Ball 2, 2-1. Earl Combs, first base coach. Art Fletcher back at 3rd. Higbee pitches 2-1. A let-up ball, which is swung on, is going deep out toward right center. Back up against the screen and bounding across for next to base. Here's Keller coming into 2nd and makes it standing. Reza took the ball on the rebound off the wall, and it is a tremendous double by Keller. Higbee slowed up, came down with a 3/4 speed pitch, and you could see Keller just gather himself and wait for it. Timed it perfectly and felt it high and far to right center field. And it is a double by Keller to give him 2 for 2, and Keller and Rolfe have a monopoly on the Yankee hits so far for the afternoon. And now Mickey Owen is out at the mound, talking to Higbee. The Brooklyn catcher comes stuffing his way now, back toward the plate. It's a big double by Charlie Keller. First hitter of the 4th inning. And Dresden steps out now and motions down to the Brooklyn bullpen for the firemen. Start warming up. Left-hander Larry French, who's apparently first on call today, gets up to start throwing. Roy Spencer. Dickey, the batter, takes a high outside fastball. Ball 1. Charlie Keller on at 2nd. Nobody gone. Top of the 4th. Dickey bounced out 2nd to 1st in the 1st inning. He has 3 hits for 13 at-bats in the series. Takes high for ball 2. 2-0. Larry French losing no time down the bullpen. He's throwing hard. The 3rd time he's been up throwing down there. Higbee in position, looks at 2nd, delivers. Dickey takes ball 3. Pitch just inside on the hands. Fastball. 3-0. Dickey steps in. Certainly moves around easily in a ball game. Higbee throws 3-0. Right through there. Dickey let it go. 3-1. Let's see what happens. 3 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. Keller at 2nd. Ankle's giving him no trouble at all in the series. Dickey takes high outside for ball 4 and walks. And a double followed by a base on ball. That's the 2nd walk given up by Higbee. And the Yankees are now clustered at 1st and 2nd. And Joe Gordon stepping in. And Mickey Owen goes out to the mound. And now with Higbee in trouble. It is the Brooklyn turn to start figuring before every pitch. The stakes are so high here in this World Series. There is so much pressure on the two clubs to beat each other because otherwise this is a neighborhood brawl. Otherwise these are the boys from not one side of the street coming across to visit the other, but the boys from across the river, as they say around this part of the country. First meeting ever of the Yankees and the Dodgers, a World Series. Now the runners at first and second, nobody out, and Gordon up. Right-hand batter. Takes a fastball inside under the shoulders, right up on the letters. Ball 1. 1-0. Higbee takes his time standing there now. Art Fletcher talking it up from back of third. Dickey leading off first. Outfield around toward left. And Gordon gets away from a high inside curve. Has to turn back from it. Ball 2. 2-0. Mickey Owen crouches. Gives the sign. 2-0. Higbee throws over for a strike. And high. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Keller at second. Dickey at first. The Brooklyn infield is back. Back on the left side. Gordon runs up and swings as though he was trying to hit the right field. And missed for strike 2. And when Gordon stepped in, from the time Gordon came to bat with runners at first and second and nobody out, which in most times in the baseball game is a bunt situation, especially if it's a one-run difference, such as this one, 1-0. Still, the Dodgers are not looking for a bunt from Gordon or from the Yankees. Riggs has been all the way back. Has a pitch high inside for ball 3, and it's a full count of 3-2. Gordon wringing his hands together, dusting them all, getting them dry. Now steps in. Everything quiet for the moment. Higbee pitches 3-2. Gordon swings as a fly ball going into short left center, and it's in for a base hit. Medwick takes on the first bounce. Keller has to hold up at third, and the bases are full. Keller had to wait, coming halfway down from second to third to be sure that the ball would not be caught in left center field by left fielder Medwick. Joe had to play it on the first bounce, and it's a long single for Gordon, and there are 3 men on for the Yankees. And up steps Rizzuto. Reese comes in from short. Talks to Higbee for the moment. Mickey Owen walking around out in front of the plate now, bellowing something at him. And for Gordon, that was his 5th hit so far in the series, and that is hit number 5 for the Yankees. Hit number 8 in this ball game. French is not fooling around in the Brooklyn bullpen. Rizzuto up. The infield is in close, more than halfway. The outfield around toward left. 3 on, nobody out. Rizzuto takes a curve high inside for ball 1. The Yankees ahead 1-0. And now threatening with a crusher here in the top of the 4th. Infield in close. Higbee throws. Rizzuto swings, bounces to third. Riggs is up with it, throws to the plate. There's 1 out. They throw down to first. Not in time at first base, just to force it home. Now it is 1 man out, and there's still 3 on. And Pitcher Donald is stepping in. Riggs had the fumble momentarily. The ball was skipped at him very hard down toward third. The ball hit the heel of his glove, but he had his right hand backing it up. And after a quick fumble, his throw is into Mickey Owen, and the catcher with his foot anchored on the plate then threw down to first, not in time. So it's a force at the plate. The third baseman to the catcher. And Keller is out with Dickey moving down to third base. Gordon drawing to second, and Rizzuto with a force out is at first. And here now is Atlee Donald crouching in over the plate. He's a left-hand batter. Outfield around toward left. The infield is halfway in. And Higbee's right through there with a curveball called strike. 0-1. Dickey off third. Gordon off second. Rizzuto off first. 1 out. Riggs is right off third. In the event that there should be a squeeze play, and the rest of the infield is pretty well back. Donald swings and waves for strike 2, and Higbee pulled the string on another curve. 0-2. And it's still 1-0 in favor of the Yankees. Which way will the cat jump now? Now Higbee has the whip handle. He's sitting in the catbird seat against his opposing pitcher. Donald slips his hands down a little bit on that bat. 0-2. Higbee throws. Donald swings and misses for strike 3. A big curve that swept the full length of the plate. And Higbee gets his first strikeout of the ball game. Came at a time in which he needed it. Now there's two men gone. And so we see the reason why the Dodgers were so certain that Gordon would not be bunting when he went up to the plate with runners at first and second and nobody out, with Rizzuto and Donald to follow. Johnny Sturm, 0 for 2 this afternoon. He has 3 for 14. Left-hand batter stepping in. Brooklyn infield is now back, especially deep on the right side. It's up one step on the left side. And the outfield is in fairly close with left fielder Medwick straight away, center fielder Reeser a couple of steps off the line toward left, and Walker straight away and right. Higbee pitches. Sturm takes a fastball low outside, ball 1. 1-0. It is still 3 on. Nobody has scored in the fourth, although the Yankees have threatened all over the lot. The scoreboard still reads 1 for New York, 0 for Brooklyn. Game 4 of the series. Higbee ready to work. Full pitching motion, throws. Fastball, which is lined into center field for a base hit. Here's Dickey coming in to score. Reeser throws toward the plate. Here's Gordon coming to the plate, and he too scores. And 2 runs are in. Rizzuto holds at second as Sturm with 2 out and 3 men on. Malevas a line drive for a sharp single into center field. And Reeser's throw to the plate was not in time to prevent the second run coming across. And the Yankees now lead 3-0, and Sturm with his 4th hit of the series, a sharp single. This one was crowned. Drives in 2 runs. Dickey coming in to score from third, and Gordon right on his heels, coming in from second base. Rizzuto held up at second. Now there's a conference out at the mound, and Manzi DeRoche is out there talking to Higbee. It is 3-0 in favor of the Yankees, and this is the widest margin that either team has had, and that is all for Higbee. And French is to be brought in from the bullpen. And Higbee is finished. And just when it appeared that the young right-hander had gotten over the worst of it, when with 3 men on and nobody out, he still kept the bases full, allowed no one to score, and got 2 outs, and then had to stir him up. Then came the line drive single laced in the center. Now here comes the veteran Larry French from the bullpen out in back of the right field corner. And there's 3-0 in favor of the Yankees. And they're still not retired in the top of the 4th. Ralph, who has 2 for 2, is to be the first batter to be faced by French.
Now pitching for Brooklyn.
And French is announced over the public address system. It's going to be a minute or so before we have a resumption of activity. And it's the great pleasure of the Gillette Safety Razor Company to bring you this stirring 1941 World Series, every pitch of it. And we're pausing now for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
You are listening to WGN, the voice of the people, Chicago.
And the applause is for Higbee as he leaves the mound, walking shoulder to shoulder, in step with his manager, Leo DeRoche. Off the 2 go back to the Brooklyn dugout. Mickey Owen was out at the mound talking to French for the moment. Now here's a little catcher stepping back of the plate. Larry French will throw down a few pitches. And with 3 men on and 2 out, after it looked as though Higbee had just about fished himself out of the woods. Because in the eyes of baseball people, when you get 3 men on, if you get the 1 and 2 batters, which means then that no one can score on an out, you've just about accomplished it. In other words, it takes a clean base hit to hurt you. And that's exactly what happened. Sturm fell it into center field. It was clean. Decisive. And DeRoche lost no time. That decided that. Walked out to the mound. Old plate umpire Larry gets to bring in French in the bullpen. Fred Rolfe is standing to one side. French is getting all set. He pitched to 1 man. Dickey got him hit into a double play in the 8th inning yesterday. His only appearance so far in the series. Now he's ready to go. It's Rizzuto at second base, and Sturm, who's now the Yankee man of the moment, leading down off first. 3-0 in favor of the Yankees. And here is Rolfe, who hasn't been stopped today, 2 for 2 against Higbee. French sets. Barrel-chested left-hander. In position, throws. Low outside into the ground. Owen is up with it. And let's see, the runners are Sturm is off first base. There's the throw. There's Rizzuto going down to third. Cavalli throws to third. Rizzuto's in a run-up now between third and second. There is Reese running him down. And the Brooklyn shortstop outruns the Yankee one. And that's the 3rd out. And Larry French in 2 days has now pitched to just 1 batter officially and gotten 3 outs. That's an oddity. That must be some sort of a record. What happened was, as that ball hit the ground in front of the plate, the Sturm thought that the ball would get away from Mickey Owen. Well, Owen blocked it and recovered it. And there was Sturm, the runner off first, halfway between first and second, but with Rizzuto was on at second. So Mickey Owen threw to Camilli at first base. And then Dobb bluffed and raced Sturm down towards second, and so Rizzuto broke for third. Then Camilli diagonally across the diamond to third baseman Riggs, who then ran Rizzuto closely back to second, and then threw to shortstop Reese. And there the two kid shortstops went at it. Sort of like Achilles and Hector going around the walls. And the Brooklyn shortstop had more foot and tagged Rizzuto out. And that ends the first half of the fourth inning.
You know, boys and girls, Atlee Donald certainly isn't giving anything away out there on the mound today. But that doesn't go for Gillette. No, sirree. Right now, Gillette is giving away a 25-cent tube of shaving cream, either lather or brushless, with the purchase of 10 improved Gillette Blue Blades at the regular price, 49 cents. Men's Gillette Lather Cream contains 3 beneficial oils. It works up a rich, full-bodied, moisture-laden lather that softens whiskers double quick. Now, if you prefer brushless, you'll go for Gillette Brushless, made with pure peanut oil. It's free from grease, can't clog razor or drains, rinses in a jiffy, speed shaving. So, take your choice. See your dealer before his supply is exhausted and get a free tube of Gillette shaving cream with 10 diamond-tested, heavy-duty Gillette Blue Blades for 49 cents. Ball game into the last half of the fourth, and here's Red.
3-0 favor the Yankees, and Donald pitches to Lou Riggs, the first batter, and lays a strike through above the knees, and it's taken. 0-1. Riggs 0 for 1 this afternoon, and 1 for 2 so far in the series. Steps out of the box. Now gets in. 3-0 favor the Yankees. We'll go back over that rundown play for you again in just a moment. Top of the fourth. Donald throws high inside for ball 1, and that must be some sort of a record for Larry French. He pitched to Dickey yesterday and got him to hit into a double play, so that made him pitching to one man for 2/3 of an inning. And he does not face Rolf officially, although he does give a pitch to him and gets an out, so he's pitched in an inning now and faced one batter. Has a pitch low outside to Lou Riggs, ball 2, and it's 2-1. When French's first pitch to Rolf went into the ground, Sturm broke for second, thinking the ball would go through, but Owen made the save and threw to Camilli at first. And then Rizzuto broke for third. Donald pitches, Riggs swings, and there's a high pop fly down by second. Gordon shielding his eyes, second baseman waiting for it in his tracks. Has it for the out. 1 up and 1 gone, last of the fourth. And then when Rizzuto broke from second for third, Camilli threw over to third base to Riggs, the third baseman, who then threw to shortstop Reese, who was back by second. And Reese and Rizzuto had a race, and Reese won. Won it about 5 feet away from third base. So on that, the pitcher does not get an assist. It's the catcher to the first baseman, to the third baseman, to the shortstop. Joe Medwick up. Fastball is very high, ball 1. Medwick 0 for 1. And the Yankees now have built up the biggest lead that either team has been able to manufacture so far in this series at any stage of it. They're leading now 3-0. Donald throws sidearm. Medwick swings and misses and spins all the way around like a gyroscope that got out of its moorings. And it's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield well around toward left. Medwick leans in toward the plate. Donald sidearm. Joe swings and cuffs an outside pitch foul out of the park behind first base. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Medwick ready. Using that dark brown bat. Pulls it down by the end. Here's the pitch. It's a high curve for ball 2. 2-2. 1 out, nobody on, last of the fourth. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Yankees. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. Donald puts out of trouble the last 2 innings. Delivers. Medwick swings and fouls it back. And Donald is side-arming Joe. 2-2. Atlee Donald, long on right-hander. Bill Dickey catching, and infield. Sturm at first. We just drove in runs 2 and 3 for the Yankees. Gordon at second. Rizzuto is at short. Third is wrong. In the outfield, it is Keller, DiMaggio, Henry. Sidearm pitch is swung on. There's a high fly ball into left center. Here's DiMaggio coming on. Under it. Takes it for the out. It's all for Medwick. Fly ball to the center fielder. Moved on to left center to take it. Now it's 2 up and 2 gone. Last of the 4. And the matter is Mickey Owen. Hasn't been up officially today. Drew a base on balls in the second inning. Mickey rubs at the edge of his cap. So there might be a little fraying out there which might distort his vision. Now pumping at wood, sets himself. Outfield around toward left to a degree. Mickey ducks a low inside pitch. Ball one. 2 out. Nobody on. Everything's sort of quiet. It's a hot afternoon and a bright one. There's an inside fastball. Ball 2. 2-0. Darnold working very easily now. This is the first time he's been able to pitch easily in an inning since the first inning. Infield up a step on the left side. Gordon pulled in a step toward second base. There's a strike. 2-1. Call. Brown just laying that one through. 3-0. Favor the Yankees. They're just joining us on this Gillette broadcast. Owen takes low outside for ball 3. 3-1. Mickey waving at Wood vigorously. Now stops it. Donald delivers. High for ball 4. Mickey Owen for the second straight time walks. He's received the only 2 passes given up by Atley. Pete Koshkarov stepping in. Koshkarov is filling in for the injured Billy Herman. Very funny the way the fates are sort of looking at things. Herman comes on the Brooklyn Ball Club in May and takes the job away from Koshkarov. Mickey Owen leading down off first. Pete takes a strike. And then Herman is one of the keys in Brooklyn's drive for the pennant. And then in the series, Herman is hurt and Koshkarov, the deposed second baseman, is playing the bag. Donald delivers low, ball 1. I was talking to Doc Painter, the trainer for the Yankees, before today's ball game, and he told me that every one of the Yankees was sincerely sorry that first Fitzsimmons was hurt and second that Billy Herman was hurt, because the Yankees, in wanting to play the Dodgers, wanted to play them at their best. They wanted the best men that Brooklyn had to be in there. Switch high inside for ball 2. And that is a wonderful reaction from a ball club. But it is a reaction that is true of both of these clubs, because you have 2 good teams with great spirits in this club, in this series. And now Johnny Allen is limbering up in the bullpen, which means that should Koshkarov get on, there probably would be a pinch hitter for relief pitcher French. Donald looks at first, throws. Koshkarov takes low for ball 3. And Donald well ahead. Now behind. And there is Fletcher coming out in front of the Yankee dugout to look into the Yankee bullpen. There's a pitch on the outside for ball 4. And after getting the first 2 men up, out, and pitching to the bottom of the batting order, Donald walks first Owen and then Koshkarov. And now let's see, will it be a pinch hitter? 2 successive walks after 2 men were retired. Allen continues throwing in the Brooklyn bullpen, and Jimmy Wasdell is being called upon to pinch hit. And there's activity now in the Yankee bullpen. Getting up to start work down there. Brewer and Branch, 2 right-handers who were throwing a couple of times yesterday in back of Russell. And Jimmy Wasdell is being called on to pinch hit for the second time in the series. He's 0 for 1. He's the pinch hitter who hit the foul ball which Red Rolfe caught in the first game, on which Reese was doubled up coming into third. Speaking of double plays, there have been no double plays so far in this series. We can tell you that there's always a great double play whenever it's the Gillette Tech Razor with the Gillette Blue Blade. Now let's see, 2 out. Runners at first and second. Wasdell pinch hitting, a left-hand batter. Swings and misses at a low curve ball that hit the ground just as it went into Dickey's mitt, back of the plate. That's strike 1. Wasdell went up there firmly, determined to hit that first pitch, even if it was in the next county, and he went after it. Mickey Owen at second, Pete Koshkarov first, both ready to go on anything. Johnny Allen will be the next pitcher for Brooklyn, warming up the bullpen. Wasdell takes a pitch that hits the ground in front of the plate this time, and Dickey blocks it with his chest protector, and the runner's ball. Ball 1. Wasdell, the former American leaguer. The Dodgers got him 2 years ago from the Washington club. New balls put in play. Larry French is indeed setting some sort of a charm record for relief efficiency. He walked in yesterday and pitched to one man and got him to hit into a double play. Walks out today and makes one pitch to Rolfe, and the result was that rundown. Wasdale is batting for French and Johnny Allen. Getting ready. He's relieved twice previously. Pitched 3 innings and hasn't been scored on. Wasdale swings and there's a long foul deep into the right field stands, up against the screen. Pulled too much. 1-2. Dickey takes the new ball, walks it out to the mound, says something to Hanley. Right funny again that the first batter that French was called on to pitch to in his relief role in the 4th inning was Rolfe. Will be the same fellow that Allen will come out and pitch to in the top of the 5th. Talk about a song I could write a book. Well, this is the World Series which you could write a whole library full of books. So much humanness, the oddities, things that happen. The heat of the contest is only being matched by this present weather this afternoon. O'Donnell ready. And then steps back off the mound. Wasdale stays in there. Left-hand hitter. Mickey Owen, second. Pete Cosgrove at first. Donald sets. Delivers. Wasdale swings. There's a long fly out toward the left field corner. It's a question whether it's fair or foul. And it is fair for an extra base. Here comes Owen in to score. Here's Cosgrove coming in to score. And it's a double for Wasdale into the left field corner. This. Wasdale as a pull hitter to right and pitched him on the outside. And he hit an outside pitch, a high fly. It looked for the moment as though it might even be foul into the left field corner, right alongside where the Yankee pitchers are getting ready. And Keller could not get over to it. He was swung around toward left center. It was a double that scored Owen from second and Cosgrove from first. They were both running with 2 outs. And it is now a 3-2 ball game. The tying runs at second, and they're going wild here at Brooklyn. Well, when they go wild, they go wild. You know what I mean? Reese up. Johnny Allen keeps working away down in the bullpen, and it's a brand new ball game again. Wasdale's pinch hit double. And thus in the 4th inning, we had a blow on each side. Be very important. The single good for 2 runs by Stern with 3 men on and 2 out. And with 2 on and 2 out, the pinch hit double that got in 2 runs. So it's a 3-2 ball game, and they're at it again, these 2 teams. Reese takes high, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. And DeRocher calls for Herman Franks to come out of the bullpen, to come down to first base, and he tells Franks exactly what he wants him to do down there. And Franks goes down, and there is Casey in response to Franks' sign, getting up to start throwing. Reese takes high for ball 2. And Dickey again is walking out in front of the plate for throwing the ball back. With 2 men out, and everything very quiet. Well, it was a quiet that was sort of a suspicious lulling. Came a walk to Owen and a walk to Cosgrove. And then with 2 strikes to Jimmy Wasdale. Donald was trying to work on him. He had the advantage. 1 ball, 2 strikes was the count. He pitched him on the outside, and Wasdale, who was up there swinging at anything he could get his bat on, doubled into the left field corner. He's on his second now, the potential tying run. Reese swings and beats it in front of the plate and foul. That's strike 2, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that ball hit down in front of the plate for a split second. It was a question which way it would kick, whether it would remain fair or kick back out foul. And that was Reese thrashing around to try and get squared away for his run to first. And that was Dickey trying to get past the bat and get at the ball. And kick back foul, and that's all there was to it. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And so the battle is a raging torrent all over again. Reese leaning in. He's a slender figure. Despite his days in the sun all summer, he does not tan at all, but remains very fair. Swings as a bounding ball down to short. Rizzuto is up with it. The throw to first is in time, and Reese is out by a step. That's all for the last half of the fourth inning. Reese bouncing out the opposing shortstop to the first baseman. And it is 2 runs on a pinch hit double following a pair of walks. At the end of 4 innings, it is 3 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Yankees. And it is 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. And now Johnny Allen is coming out of the bullpen to the mound, and Hugh Casey is in the bullpen limbering up. Casey has a phrase which he's made rather famous in recent weeks. Ask him how he is, and he says, well, Casey's ready. When I saw him today out of the stands, I didn't ask him how he was. I just simply said, hello, Hugh, and he shook his head, and he says, well, yesterday Casey wasn't ready, was he? However, Casey is limbering in the bullpen now. And Wasdell, as a reward for hitting that double, is going out to left field, and Medrick is coming out of the ball game. So Jimmy Wasdell is going to left field, and Joe Medrick comes out. And Wasdell, a left-hand batter, who just pinch hit a double to put the Dodgers back in the running, is now the left fielder. And Joe Medrick comes out. Now, if you've got your scorecards in front of you, Johnny Allen, the relief pitcher, goes into the batting list to hit 6th as he goes in Medrick's slot. So Allen pitching to Rolfe, the third baseman, first batter in the 5th inning, will be hitting 6th in the Brooklyn batting order. So you can really get a batting order upside down when pinch hitters bat for pitches and catches and stay in the ball game and then go to other places. Friends, your quarters of dollars invested in United States defense stamps and bonds will do a lot to protect the American way of living. And we are very happy to be here this afternoon giving you a part of one of the peaks of the American way of living. Here in the ballpark in the World Series. And the Gillette Safety Razor Company is very happy to be bringing you this major sporting event. It's another one in their cavalcade of sports broadcasts. Johnny Allen has been announced. So, it is 3-2 in favor of the Yankees. And Johnny Allen takes the mound. This is the 3rd relief job that he's being called on. He pitched 2 innings in the first game, an inning yesterday, and hasn't been scored upon. Hasn't given up a hit. 3 innings. However, he walked a couple and hit 1 in the first game. Allen pitching, a former Yankee. This is another thing we mean by so much humanness in this series. Here's Allen, who was traded away from the Yankees to the Indians. Then from the Indians was sent to St. Louis. And then was out of the league on waivers, and the Dodgers got him in the middle of the summer. And here he is now in the World Series. In a key spot. Mickey Owen is catching. Red Rolfe was 2 for 2. Left-hand batter. Takes a sharp sidearm pitch in for a called strike. Rolfe looked as though he might have been bunting. First man up now in the 5th inning. 3-2. Favor the Yankees. Allen comes down and hits the ground in front of the plate, trying to snap off a curve, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. The infield remains Camilli at first, Koshkarad at second. Reese is at short, and third base is Lou Riggs today. So the Brooklyn club is quite changed right now from what it has been. In the outfield, Jimmy Wasdell is out there in left field, taking Medrick's place. Risa in center. Dixie Walker is in right. It's entire left-hand hitting outfield for Brooklyn. Allen throws, Rolfe swings and grounds it foul across the first base line. And the coach down there, Earl Coombs, comes over and picks it up. Looks at it, then throws it down to the umpire, who has already given another ball to catcher Owen, who's busy rubbing it up and going out to the mound. One and two. Outfield straight away on Rolfe. Left-hand batter, and Riggs has gone back deep now that 2 strikes are on Rolfe. The big percentage of his bunting is passed. Red swings, and there's a high fly ball into short right. Here's Walker coming in, looking right into the sun, and stays with it for the out. And that sun is tough. That is the factor today from the weatherman's standpoint. 1 up and 1 gone, top of the 5th. Stepping in, Tommy Henry was 0 for 2. Fly ball to left in the first inning, and then hit a tremendous drive in the 3rd. That's the one that Dixie Walker went back against the concrete and took away from him. Took it away from center fielder Risa in the bargain. Outfield around toward right. Allen throws a low inside curve. Ball 1. Hugh Casey remains throwing down the Brooklyn bullpen. Pitch is low inside. Ball 2. Henry getting away from it. Mickey Owen turns around. Has something to say to plate umpire Larry Getz. The chances are he's not asking him what time it is. A 2-0. 1 out. Yankees at bat, top of the 5th. Johnny Allen relieving. Throws. And Henrik is hit on the right arm. He cannot get out of the way of an inside pitch. And Allen has now hit a batter for the second time here in the World Series. The batter that Allen hit when he relieved in the 7th inning of the first game was Johnny Sturm. So now Henrik is at first base. Hit by a pitch. Stepping in is Joe DiMaggio, who's 0 for 1 this afternoon. And DiMaggio, so far in the World Series, has 2 hits for a dozen at-bats. He had a walk in the first inning and hit into a forced play in the 3rd. Outfield deep around toward left. Allen in position, throws. His curve is sharp but low outside. Ball 1. 1-0. 1 out. Henrik, who can move, leading down off first. Really holding against him. Those two almost had a rhubarb the 4th inning yesterday. There's a fastball low for ball 2. 2-0. Maggio standing there very quietly. Now backs out. It's a powerfully framed fellow. Tall, rangy. Doesn't move around at all up there in batter's box. Simply sets those feet far apart and very firmly. And gets that wood up there above his right ear. The pitch is a curve or a called strike over the outside corner. 2-1. Madge doesn't move his feet at all. Leans in. 3-2. Favor the Yankees. First half of the 5th inning. Runner at first and 1 out. Allen takes his time. Eyes ready. Throws. DiMaggio swings. There's a line drive into left. Wasdell is in front of it and has it for the out. And back to first base returns Henry. Wasdell throwing into second. The second baseman Coscarard. DiMaggio really teed off on it, but it was a line drive hit straight to Wasdell, who just had to come in 1 step and take it. So it is now 2 out in the top of the 5th. And here's Charlie Keller, who has not been stopped. Keller, who had a single in the first inning with 2 out, and that drove in the Yankees' first run. And then he began their 2-run 4th inning with a tremendous double. Bashed high off the wall in right center field. So Keller, who has 5 hits for 12 at-bats, digs in. He's strong enough to plow all day with 1 hand. Tommy Henry. Leading down off first. Johnny Allen. Throws low outside for ball 1. Allen pitching primarily side on. It is his habit. Briggs is deep in a couple of steps out from 3rd. Reese is short. He's a step over towards second base. Coscarard is at the edge of the right field line. Right field grass. There's a pitch low inside for ball 2 and halfway over to first. The second baseman's position. Camilli holding first. Outfield shaded toward right. The most noticeable movement by any outfielder is by left fielder Wasdell, who's over in left center. Reese was just shaded toward right center, and Walker's pretty well spread away right. So that's the way they're playing Keller. 2-0 pitch is an outside curve that does not come in enough for ball 3. And Keller is now sitting high and wide. 3-0. He can afford to take a couple of pitches no matter where they are. He can take a toe hold and look for what he wants. If he doesn't get it, take it. 3-0. Allen delivers over just above the knees for a called strike. It's 3-1. Now let's see if Hendricks going down, if there's a running hit on. Score is 3-2. They were the American League champions. Casey all this time continues to throw relentlessly down in the Brooklyn bullpen. Allen watches first, delivers. Keller swings at a bounding ball that Coscarard comes up with. No, it goes through and out into right field. And there's Henrik around second, going to third, and makes it standing up in the throw-in. Is cut off at second by shortstop Reese. Koshkrod running along a step back on the right field grass. Got his glove on Keller's wicked smash. And just as we said comes up with, the ball tore through his glove and went all the way back into the full depth of right field. And the official scores ruled that it was hit so savagely that even though the second baseman got his glove on it, that one was not supposed to have been fielded, and it is scored as a base hit. That is 3 for 3 for Keller. Yankees are now at first and third. 2 men are out. Bill Dickey is the batter. That is hit number 1 off Allen, hit number 7 for the Yankees. Hit number 11 in the ball game. Dickey was out second to first in the first inning, then drew a walk in the fourth. Always dangerous. The Yankees one time ahead an inning ago by 3 runs, and now just a run to the good, 3-2. And they're, of course, trying to build their lead back up again. And there's Allen standing in front, trying to thwart them. Delivers on the outside to Dickey, the ball 1. Former teammates running headlong into each other. There's a former Yankee battery. Allen and Dickey. Or it's Allen pitching for Brooklyn, Dickey batting for the Yankees. He takes the pitch low and inside, ball 2. I often wonder how much it means for a catcher who has caught a pitcher a great many times that due to the shifting of scenes in baseball, when a catcher is finally, in this case, up there hitting against the pitcher that he used to call the shots for. I wonder if there's any edge there at all. The 2-0 pitch is a call strike. Curve just above the knees. It's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 out. Allen moving a little ground out there. Henrik off third. Keller off first. Both had to go on anything. There's a pitch high and outside for ball 3. Allen trying to work carefully. It fits the spot so Dickey is now seriously behind 3-1. Casey continues throwing in Brooklyn's bullpen. Dickey leans down, touches the rubber of home plate with the heavy end of that war club. Now sets in his batting crouch. The pitch is a curve low and inside for ball 4. And Allen at least was taking no chance of it. Dickey, he curved him 3-1. And here's DeRocha. Here's DeRocha coming out of the Brooklyn dugout. Now the Yankees have 3 men on for the second time in 2 innings. DeRocha going out to the mound. Keller's moved down to second base. Henrik, of course, holds the third, and there's a walk given up by Johnny Allen. So a hit batter, a single and a walk. 3 men are on, and Leo's out at the mound. So while he's having that discussion with Johnny Allen on this Gillette broadcast, we pause very quickly for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
This is WGN, the voice of the people, Chicago.
And Johnny Allen is to come out, and Hugh Casey is to come in. And here is Casey coming out of the bullpen. Coming out to the mound, the top of the 5th inning, with 3 men on.
Attention, please.
Joe Gordon to be the batter. 2 men out. And the announcement that Casey is to come on and relieve is received with mingled emotions by the thousands here in the stands. In the 8th inning yesterday, there was a play at first in which Casey did not get over to first base in time to cover. You said before today's ball game that the reason he didn't get to first base was he started to break off the mound when the ball was hit to the right side, but he did not see Koshkrod coming along the edge of the right field grass. And when he saw the ball go past Camilli, he stopped because he thought the ball was through and into right field. And he said he was very surprised, very, of course, upset when he saw Koshkrod come up with it. Though he tried to get over, he couldn't make it. So Johnny Allen is taken out. The bases are loaded. 2 men gone. And there's Casey now, flipping down. Pitches. And Casey comes in the 6th slot in the batting order, in case you're scoring and putting them down. And this is going to be a box score, which for the writers who make out the composite boxes, this is going to be rather tough to figure out tonight. It's going to keep them busy. So Casey getting ready to pitch to second baseman Joe Gordon. 5th inning. Casey is the 4th Brooklyn pitcher. Less than 2 innings. And Noah Kimball and Luke Hamlin, 2 right-handers, leave the Brooklyn dugout and go down to the bullpen. Before the start of the game, Casey, French, and Allen were set down to be the bullpen squad. They've been completely exhausted. In other words, there are no pitchers left in the bullpen, but Kimball and Hamlin are going down from the Dodger dugout to the bullpen now. Fill up that gap. So here it is. Gordon stepping in now. He has 1 for 2. So far, he has 5 hits for 8 at-bats in the series, 8 official at-bats. There are 3 men on. Henrik at third, Keller at second, and Dickey at first. 2 men out. Casey pitches. Gordon takes a fast call strike. Nothing in 1. No balls, 1 strike. Infield is deep and around toward third. The outfield deep and sharply around toward left. Gordon takes a curve low and outside for ball 1. It's 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 3 Yankee runners ready to get going. Any excuse. 2 men out. They'll be running first and looking later. Casey sets. Henry comes down a long lead but holds up. There's a high foul back into the stands behind the Yankees dugout. 1-2. And Fletcher went in and talked to Henrik just before Casey made this last pitch to Gordon, and Henrik promptly took a long running lead down. Apparently the Yankees know all about what happened at Pittsburgh when Vince DiMaggio ran down on third base and Casey balked and they waved in the runner. However, Casey's motion was very smooth. All right, through and delivered. Now he shakes off Owen. Shakes him off again. 1-2. Few throws. Gordon swings and beats it down foul. It's still 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The defense is drawn drastically around toward left, both on the infield and in the outfield. It is 3-2, favor the Yankees. And this bids fair to be a very long ball game, the way it's been going. And of course, this game was not started until 2 o'clock, as there's a New York Sunday law about starting baseball games before 2. You can't do it. That's why the time on today's game was different from the time that has been the other days. Tomorrow, the game will be back again at 1:30, and we'll be on the air with a Gillette broadcast for you at 1:15. Casey pitches. Gordon swings. There's a high fly ball into deep left. Wasdell is back. He's waiting for it now. Takes it for the out. So ends the potentially big 5th inning with 3 Yankees left on. Gordon, a high fly ball to deep left field. No runs in the top of the 5th inning. 1 hit, and Casey puts out the fire. And to show you how things are in baseball, in the 8th inning yesterday, Casey couldn't have been elected to very much around this neighborhood, but right now he's the man of the moment. Just pitching to 1 batter and getting out of that jam in the top of the 5th. And so it's 3 runs. 7 hits, no errors for the Yankees. And it is 2 runs and 4 hits and no errors for the Dodgers. And with all these pitchers coming in, you may still wonder who is the Brooklyn pitcher who is still liable for the Yankee lead. Well, the Brooklyn pitcher who is still responsible as the score stands is starting pitcher Higbee. None of the relief pitchers are affected. And, of course, French and Allen never can be. If Casey continues, he can only be affected if the Dodgers tie or go ahead while he's still actively pitching. And Donald back at the mound, who started and still going. However, I see that Branch and Brewer are beginning to throw him back of him in the bullpen before he ever pitches to a hitter in the last of the 5th. Well, this is Red Barber, who's enjoyed very much in behalf of Gillette, bringing you the first half of today's stirring and epoch-making World Series 4th ball game. And with a great deal of pleasure, turning you over now to Bob Elson, WGN Chicago. Bob, you're the next pitcher.
Thank you very much, Red. Nice going. Fans, as you already know, this is some ball game from what Red's told you. This ball game is cut practically out of the patterns of the other games as far as runs are concerned, because it's still anybody's ball game. And so the 4th game of the World Series is moving into the last half of the 5th inning with Donald on the mound and Dixie Walker, the right fielder of the Dodgers, the first man up. Here's the pitch, and it's a ball. He stepped away from an inside curveball, and it's ball 1. Yankees talk it up out there in the infield. Rolfe at third, Rizzuto at short, Gordon at second, Sturm at first, Keller left field, DiMaggio center field, and Henrik right field playing straight away. Walker a left-hand hitter. Here's the next pitch from Donald. It's a fastball, an overarm fastball right across his waist, and it's a call strike. Walker's been up twice so far today. Bounced out the first time, and the second time he flied out to Keller. He has one hit so far in the series. Count on him, 1-1. Here comes the next pitch. It's a swing and a fly ball down the left field line. It may be fair, it may be foul. It's a fair ball. The left fielder caught that ball on the bounce, and Walker goes into second base, standing up with the tying run. It was a two-base hit down the left field line by Dixie Walker, his second hit of the series. And incidentally, the fifth Brooklyn hit. There's the tying run on second base for the Dodgers now in the last half of the fifth inning. Bill Dickey steps out in front of the plate, walks out there slowly to say something to Donald, and again there's a lot of activity in the Yankee bullpen, which is down here to our left, but way down the left field line, with Branch and Brewer still warming up, both right-handers. Now here's Reeser. He's been up twice. He's had one hit. The first pitch he hits a high fly ball into right field. Right fielder Henry goes back against the scoreboard. It's going to hit. It's a home run right on top of the fence and over. It's a home run, and the Dodgers lead 4-3. Over the scoreboard. By the way, that scoreboard and fence sits out a few feet from a screen which is behind that fence. A ball hit over that scoreboard, if it doesn't come back out, is a home run. So Reeser just hit a home run. He not only put the Brooklyn Dodgers in the lead in this fourth game of the World Series, but he is putting Donald out of the ball game. And here is Atlee Donald going out, and a new pitcher coming in from the Yankee bullpen in left field. Here's Brewer coming in. Boy, was that a wallop. So the score now is 4-3 in favor of the Brooklyn Dodgers. And here is a tall right-hander coming in to pitch for the Yankees. Let's take a look at what he's done this year. This fellow Brewer, coming in now, took part in 26 ball games. He pitched 141 innings. He allowed 130 hits. He gave 50 bases on balls, and he had 73 strikeouts. He pitched 7 complete games. He had 1 shutout, and his record for the year, 9 victories and 7 defeats. 9 victories and 7 defeats. Marvin Brewer is called Adonis by the writers. He's what used to be called a Colorad type. The curveball tossing right-hander was born at Rolla, Missouri on April 29, 1914, and first became prominent as a hurler at the Missouri School of Mines, from which he took a degree as a civil engineer. Brewer returned to his engineering after the baseball season. He worked in the Yankee chain for some years and at last demonstrated outstanding abilities with the Kansas City team. This brought him to the Bombers in 1940. He won 8 and lost 9. Right-hander with a baffling curveball, a nice change of pace, and pretty good speed, as you can see by his record of 73 strikeouts. He knows how to whip that last one through there. Well, while the picture has changed in that the score has changed, and the Dodgers are in the lead for the first time today, it's still one of those kind of ball games. 3-2, 3-2, 2-1, 4-3. And in no case in the ball game, in any one of the 4 games, has the other team been out of striking distance. Well, Brewer's had his warm-up pitches. He's out there now with his right foot on the pitching mound. He's facing Camelli, who's had 1 hit today and 2 tries. And the first pitch to Camelli is a fastball inside at the waist. It's too close, and Dolph watches it sail by. You know, Reeser, I was talking to Reeser down in the batting cage before the game, and he said, Bob, you know, in these first few games, I haven't been getting many hits. In fact, he only had 1. There's a fly ball into right field. It's right at Henrik, and he caught it for the first out. Camelli flied to Henrik. It was hit right at him in right field. Reeser said, I think I've been standing with my feet a little bit too far apart. Today I'm going to shorten that stride a little bit and try to pull that ball. Well, he just pulled that ball over the scoreboard in right center field for a home run to put the Dodgers in the lead. Now the next man to come up is Riggs, who's playing at third base today in place of Lavagetto. He's had one hit in the series, and that was in a pinch hitting role. He's been up twice today without a hit. The first pitch to Riggs is a fastball that's right in there for a called strike. Umpire Getz of the National League, who's back at the plate today, shoots that right fist up into the air. There's one out. There's 2 runs in. It's the last half of the 5th inning, and Brooklyn leads. Here's the pitch. It's a slow curve. He pulled the string on that one, slowed up on it, but the pitch was a little bit too close at the knees to Lou, and he watched it sail by. The Yankee outfield playing this hitter straight away and not too deep. Brewers ready again. Here's the next pitch, and there's a swing at a slow curveball, and he missed it, and it's ball 1 and strike 2 on Riggs. Ball 1 and strike 2 on Riggs. Brewers ready out there again. Here's the next pitch. He swings, and he goes all the way around and struck him out. Lou Riggs went all the way around, and he struck him out. That's the 4th strikeout today. 1 for Higbee, 2 for Donald, and now 1 for Brewer. 4 strikeouts in the ball game. Here's Casey coming up, getting a hand. Casey steps around to the left side of the plate. You know, Casey is a pretty good hitter. The first pitch is a ball that's low outside. Casey batting up there in this particular spot because of the switch before. Wasdell batting for the pitcher and then going into Medwig's spot in left field. Casey batting with 2 out. That's right-handed. There's a strike. It caught the outside corner knee high, and it's 1-1. There's 2 gone. It's the last half of the 5th inning. It's the 4th game of the World Series at Brooklyn. It's a perfect day. A mammoth crowd. The place is jammed to the Raptors, and the score 4-3. There's a low curveball that broke outside to a right-hand hitter, and it is ball 2 and strike 1 for Casey. Big U Casey up in there. He allowed 4 hits in succession yesterday, came in today, and called a near riot. There's a short fly ball to center field. It's dropping for a hit. Casey dumped the Texas Leaguer out over second base into center field. It is a hit. All right, a hit for Casey. That makes 3 hits this inning, and it gives the Dodgers a total of 7 hits against 3, 6, 7 hits for the Yankees. And so both teams are even in the matter of hits. That leaves Casey on first base and brings up Owen. There's 2 out. The pitcher, Casey, dumped a base hit into center field. Now here's Mickey Owen up. Owen's been up twice today, and he walked twice. The first pitch to him is a ball, low and outside. Talk about hits. Fans are sure going for that World Series special Gillette Tech Racing. Get yours today at your neighborhood dealers. Boy, is this a ball game. Casey on first base, Mickey Owen batting. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a bouncing foul. The ball bounced up and hit him. It rolled off to the left of the plate. Umpire Getz, who's back at the plate today, is going over to pick it up. And the Yankee bat boy comes out and flips it to him. In this last half of the 5th inning, the Brooklyn Dodgers have gone into the lead. Walker doubled. Reeser hit one over the scoreboard for a home run. Janelli went out. Riggs was out. Casey singled to center, and now Owen is batting. Here comes the next pitch. It's a foul. It's coming back up here into the screen. It's a foul strike, and it's 1-2. Well, we've sure had a lot of excitement. Boy, in those first 4.5 innings that Red told you about, there was plenty of excitement here, and it looks like there's plenty more to come. Both these teams just battling as they have from the very first pitch in the first game. Here comes the next pitch, and Owen falls away from a slow curveball that was right close to his head. Backed up like he was going to sit down in the chair. The ball went by him, and the count is 2-2. Umpire Getz gets out the whisk broom now and gives the old plate the 1-2. Yankee outfield is straight away. DiMaggio standing in dead center field with his arms folded. Charlie Keller over there in left field, and Tommy Henrik in right field. The infield practically engulfed in the shadows of the stands. Here is a foul that's coming back here near the stands. Here's Bill Dickey coming back under our mutual booth, but he can't reach it. Bill Dickey came back here under our mutual broadcasting booth, which is, by the way, ideally situated just back of the home plate and not too high. But he couldn't make the play on the ball, and he's going back to the plate now. He's just picking up his cap and mask. Mickey Owen, number 10 on the back of his white uniform, is standing off to the left of the plate. The Dodgers, of course, are the home team here at Ebbets Field, wearing the white uniform, and the Yankees, the traditional traveling gray. Casey on first base, Owen batting. Here comes the next pitch. It's a ball. It's in too close, and he stepped away. Between every pitch, Owen steps out of the batter's box and gets some dirt on his hands. Charlie Gresson coaching at third to our left. Leo Durocher over there at first base to our right. Yankee infielders talk it up, and now Brewer has gone back to the mound, leans over, picks up the rosin bag, takes his glove off, fidgets around with the bag for a while, drops it. Now he roughs up the ball. It's a 3-2 count on Owen with 2 out of the man on first and 2 runs in. Here's the pitch. He swings a fly ball to dead center. DiMaggio moving about 5 feet. He's right under it. Takes it to retire the side. And so in that last half of the 5th inning, there was a double by Walker, a home run by Reeser. Camelli flied out. Briggs struck out. Casey singled to center. And Owen flied to center field to retire the side. 2 runs and 3 hits. And that is the end of the 5th inning.
Now from baseball to bids for just a second. How about giving your face a break? Try the new Gillette Tech Razor with today's Gillette Blue Blade. Man, there's the easiest shaving combination known. See for yourself. Ask your dealer for the 1941 World Series Gillette Tech Razor, complete with 5 blue blades for only 49 cents. And so we've had 5 sterling